Here awaits a story from Earth, a cosmic gift long emerged, a shimmer from the planet I reside cast about, from my mind's eye. The judgment perhaps will be quick to show, pointing fingers at the words he wrote. Yet few and far between a seer's eyes begin to shimmer and gleam. For he is one attuned to the station of cosmic gifts over desperation. For the seeker within remain on your toes, for the truth emerging is unlike anything, yet your soul already knows. Deep within, illuminating bright from cages of ego, awaking liberated each night. Dreams which mold from fabrics of truth, creations unfold as conditioning becomes mute. For the soul within now illuminates the eyes, for in this moment our spirit has pierced the sky. Well, I guess we'll see how this shit goes. Ha ha ha. To my friend named Ignorance and Arrogance, you, yes you, the one who wasn't even having the conversation, you, the one whose inner darkness vanquishes any essence of the light. For you shall laugh now, find truth, find the true self later, way later. Haha, so funny, am I right? I don't think you understand, for you understand nothing. Forgive me, perhaps it's my arrogance for even speaking aloud in such stern of tone, whispering seemingly nothingness for all to be known. A gift carved by the cosmos into one's own bones. But you don't even know, not a single inkling of what I have just bestowed. Pure states of conscious meditative hypnosis, times of etheric and lucid dreams, imagination and creations, weaving through the fabric of dimensional space-time, recalling past lives and their unique skill sets, roaming celestial bodies, esoteric worlds and metaphysical realms, astral traveling to and from lands which radiate and communicate from and as the divine, recalling portions of myself whose essence is mine. I am the architect, I am the technological genius, the scribe, the healer, the mystic, for I am all of existence. Joke and poke from your squishy human-skinned egotistical cloak, for I surely hope I'm worth such a grand roast. Yet recall, that which you laugh at shall be one's own infinite downfall. However, for the gods, archangels and the stars, the ancients, the masters and the galactics, all choosing in divine free will to commune with I. Upon such nights, awakening the seer inside, for they commune with I, so why do I waste my time with these homo sapien guys? For they have no clue, I tell you none, for they believe all of one's information, knowledge, wisdom and essence stems from the research he's done. Yet I can see clearly, I understand the torture of this divine journey. For many believe it's rainbows and sunshine, but what you have yet to discover is it takes a magnificently strong warrior spirit, selected by the ancestors, for they knew you were able to see through it all, the rise and the fall, as a warrior of the divine chosen by the ancient light in which I shine. Yet I hear from the rear, a once friendly voice from an old peer. Well, Mike, if it's going so well, then what the hell? You should be in a heavenly space, a heavenly realm, rather than casting such devilish sounding spells. Haha, yet, oh my, you haven't even tried, for only the purest of hearts shall truly and divinely shine. As the world we know fades away, a new earth with new leaders shall pave the human way. You see, I talk, yes I do, the divine I'd rather commune with than having a conversation with you. I wish not to be rude, I don't desire to be mean, but it's you and those beliefs that makes the light in me truly gleam. I love it all, the shit, the smack, the kicks from the group talk chat. I fear not, for I know truth. In fact, your reactions are familiar to me, similar to Popeye's spinach juice, such potent green leaves. For I have spoken to and been spoken to by the gods, such magnificent energetic frequencies you deny. For the ancients did not lie, rather told the story as seen, felt and understood via their own mind's eye. But here and now in modern times, secrets await for such divine rhymes, for I am chosen for this task prior to time and space. I was meant to awaken. My life was meant for such destruction, crumbling Michael Evans' humanly constructed foundational waste. And as I built up from the devastating ash and rubble, I discovered a celestial tower, holding a beaming siren like a torch, a lighthouse, inhabiting a truly cosmic rebel. Derived from the stars, radiating from the human cries for any sort of spiritual charge, no compromise. Yet more importantly, the Mother Earth herself too called in accordingly. For now we have arrived, I am here as you brother, forever you and I. Tier 1 renegade members of the light, poking the system, testing its boundaries, understanding these insertions of mine as literature and media, question about me, we and thee. You live in a realm you cannot comprehend, for the human vessel has been left too long on the back end, for you must nourish your gifts in which you unlock, spreading them to all of humanity over generations, removing the ancestral rot, only to discovering a real true honeypot. Hiding from within, unaware of what cosmic codes lie within the DNA of one's skin. For I, an old soul, and you, my friend, have yet to pose a single conscious question as a whole, for you ask, how do I know? Or simply put, just look at me, bro. In all my remembrance, for I've taken a countless of lives as the arrogant innocence, as the one whom just casually follows the tribe, leading them to the unknown, wherever the others may reside. For the truth of the matter is, one has placed their true soul essence into the grace of what others decide. And yet I don't bother. I simply wish one would learn to love their cosmic brother. For the ones around act, view, and treat him as if he were the descendant of a Heyoka, the sacred white buffalo, a ceremonial esoteric clown in Native American spiritual culture. as if this is the story they believe, with not a shimmer nor a shake from this sturdy tree nor a quiver of its oak leaves. For beyond rationality, as a perfect display of human hospitality, why can one not simply see creation from the creator within? Ignore the information and merely view one's cosmic artisan, for my buddy whom writes songs, as the lovely expression he has for his mum. Likes, shares, and hands in the air. Yet for the one whom remains over there, exuding the same emotional strain as the one in the vocals chair. However, yet his truth hits too deep, posing questions which are busting the emotionally and intellectually weak. For to be the one against the grain, in a society whose moral and social values have clearly gone insane. Yet they too derived by such a society, not thinking for themselves, not able to see beyond me. For I know these loving friends of mine whom soul has decided to run off and hide. For I feel your pain, brother, the echoes and aches in which it resides. It's crazy how deep the human condition truly is in the ego's full protective permission. As my eyes see, stare and glare, a true laughingstock I see standing there. The one who remains absolutely unaware, with all the potent power sizzling through the air, waiting for one to claim. But the truth of the matter is they're not strong enough to break through the human emotional pain. Pain stemming from both the personal and the collective, providing a more in-depth on the reality of one's perspective. They believe I'm weak for what I've been through or what I've caused, all the while the angels roaring in a magnificent applause, as the one who knows true soul growth, tasked with dissolving ancestral turmoil, exposing true light codes, star frequency activations for my brothers and sisters of Earth, from which when discovered, one's own energetic essence emerged. For once you awake you too, for I have the wisdom, and therefore I hold the power. Negotiating with my childhood friends as if I am to prove I am a flourishing sunflower. I don't care what fear you feel emanating from here. One day you will die, disappeared into the celestial sky. At such time I will be reacquainted with you, in your core essence as to a piece of the divine. Until then, laugh, 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 for my soul knows it resides on the right path.
Now hurry, let's chase these fucking leprechauns and get this pot of gold.
Quick, grab the fat one.
Shit, they're getting away.
Fast little fuckers, huh?
Hey guys.
What, Mike? We're trying to get the pieces of gold.
Yeah, as Mike paused briefly. So Timmy the Chon, you know the only one leprechaun not running away, sitting peacefully with a big-ass pot of gold crushing his lap?
What about it, Mike?
We're busy, can't you see the coins?
They replied. Yet knowing he had what they all were currently fighting and scrimmaging over, and even more so, in amounts they won't be able to fathom. Yet Mike knew what he had. He knew they would listen at this time. And so he spoke. Yeah, he asked how I was doing. I said, good. I said, how are you? What's your name? How's your day? He replied with a large gingery grin.
I'm Timmy the Chon, and you're the first one to ask me that today. Thank you.
He then stood up, stating honorably.
Out of all these humans running around like chickens with their heads cut off, you remain content? Why is that?
Well, I guess I like to indulge in the real moment, the very energy of the right here and right now. I guess that's when you catch the things that others miss.
Oh, young man. Oh, goodness, this belongs to you.
And, yeah, that's how one has graced this divine golden abundance, simply by asking, seeking, and finding. Mike, unknown to the rest of the Carriage Hills crew, with all of that time, effort, and energy to attract that which he now had, but merely for a moment, for he simply released his own divine birthright back, out and into the world, as the earth and humanity lived and progressed in peace, harmony, and balance. For who is he whom writes these words? It is I, the master of which you have heard. Laugh at me like a fool, yet I reside within a realm of reality I truly and righteously rule. The realm within, in which we are all kings, the realm which God shines through and beams. For why is it you wish to continue to act? Am I out of the norm? Perhaps. And yet, found in those future generations to come, many of the youth shall hear my silent tongue. For their souls will arrive here lighter and brighter, awaiting to stoke the coals of the ancient sacred cosmic fire. For it is not I whom will be fireside in the wintertime, oh no, for he can frost the cold, and it is in this, his spiritual ability to not only weather storms, but thrive amongst them. These new humans, I call them, will not enter the earth having to lay new foundations, as we have laid them for them. As this energy we have worked an entire lifetime to generate and accumulate, they will enter into as initiates, in birth, now arriving here on earth. Yet these children have entered with a fundamentally lighter, dehumanized psyche. As these children begin to enter into adulthood, you will soon notice that things seemingly overnight no longer operate the same as yesterday. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, these generations and the ones to come after will naturally seek to evolve, out of the conscious and into it all. The second leap which awaits mankind will take humanity from conscious and aware into the beginnings of the truly divine. The realms in which psychedelics explore peek into the truth you slam shut, behind the door. For the light shines from underneath, exposing the faithless and weary to truths of quantum theory. For you see, I've hidden away for far too long, as an energetic ripple has formed within the power of my lungs. An eons-old disaster, a mosh pit of timelines swirling and crashing faster and faster, manifesting from my voice, from this physical body, bound by gravity. In times when truth ran as free as the purified waters, and times when fears led many to the slaughters. Now shake off the dust and return to the line of duty. A new mission awaits, and yet it's new to me. What does it hold? For I can feel the shift, pulling my life force away from its skin. They communicate in silence, though remain forever vigilant. For when the time comes, it shall be benevolent. For he has been hidden in plain sight, and those he exposes himself to seemingly have not an eye. For he may see beyond this illusion, into the expression of this multidimensional confusion. For it's not that intrinsically scientific nor spiritually tough, for it's been around for eons prior to humanity, computers and stuff. If it was embodied as an active spiritual human practice to them, the ancients, then for me today it shall be easily explained, interpreted, understood and repracticed. As you come to, so shall those ancient ancestors whom ascend through you. For the loss of memory is not a random thing. On the contrary, most other conscious beings remember most of everything, recalling past lives, while remembering where they once used to reside. For Earth is a spiritual testing ground from which you have selected, or maybe have been selected for. Chosen for such a sacred timeline, selected specifically by the ancient ancestors themselves. One's generational lineage, which contrary to popular belief isn't merely grandma and grandpa, but perhaps beings from other realms and dimensions in which one shares a soul tie with. Similar in concept to an oversoul, an energetic body so potent with potential, no single being in existence can individually contain, nor be composed by its entirety. A hard three-dimensional reality from which most have simply accepted. Look at us, this realm, a realm long lost of old, meant for the human to creatively meld. But remember why you came here, my dear. For you are a powerful warrior of spirit, the one equipped to take on this ancestral trauma. Call back your divine sovereign power, and you shall spontaneously remember the ancient Akashic past, the intuitive understandings which one innately holds in regard to the fundamental constructs of the new and the old, God, source or the essence of consciousness. The life force energy pulsating fluidly within and all around us, but more so is truly us in its finite essence. Now think back, not too hard, or the ego will soon take charge. Rather relax, it's not found inside the squishy tissues of your thinking cap. You see, it's not the memory of the mind, rather encoded and integrated within your DNA, as the entire human vessel isn't simply composed of major organs wrapped in flesh. Rather, the quantum human vessel in its whole totality is the machine, operating in harmony and balance versus merely the heart, or simply the brain. Wisdom encompassed via all of existence, stored for all of time, awaiting curiosity. If you recall, you may come to understand here now that I'm no fool at all. For when the physical body begins to speak in silent tongues, the five senses suddenly go numb and dumb. Like a foreign language they have not yet learned, however, from which the foundations of intuition may have its turn. As the curiosities of science evolved throughout the ages, it began exploring more and more. The more it studied, the more it understood. Understanding it was exploring the realm of itself. Prior to this new era realization, mankind had compartmentalized truth, no longer seeking what intuitively feels good, rather, now slaving over that which they tell us we need nor desire. As humanity no longer found truth through the emotion, or energies in motion, provoked from the heart. Rather, they let others dictate their truths, allowing science and the human psyche control. For it's as if humanity believes in nothing, until someone, somewhere has a spark of curiosity. Of course not that of their own, and as the curious define their realm via science, humanity suddenly opens up the secured compartments of the mind, allowing this knowledge to now seep in as truth, yet in doing so blocking out all that is possible until someone, somewhere becomes curious. Why live like this? Why believe nothing exists until it does? I, for one, truly believe anything is possible until trial and error prove otherwise. Gifting humanity the ability to see things from afar, a big picture moment from above, for as above, so below. As these beings knew that the human mind is easily corruptible, but the heart, the ancient heart, knows real truth from the moment it enters its electromagnetic toroidal field. For the first thing to know is you know nothing. You see, the one thing faster than light is conscious thought. Here one is able to converse with energetic entities, yet I know that doesn't sit well with most listening. Think of it rather like a ghost, an energetic signature of life, existence, being. Yet this energetic ghost is not an individual, instead resembles information, knowledge, wisdom, and truth. For I assure you, at this stage in human evolution, it's not what you think. Yet it's not a Hollywood sci-fi movie, where the lead actor poster boy communicates directly with extraterrestrial life. However, with the power of belief, the first and utmost important disciplined step when considering the physical foundations of an idea or imagination, to creation, and into the realization of such warranted manifestation with ease. You see, the power of the human psyche is a dangerous thing. The law of attraction, which by the way, quantum physicists have scientifically proven truly can and does happen. In fact, it occurs so often, humans don't even realize it, or at least aren't fully conscious of this, as this act, or exchanging of energy, is always happening non-stop. To the point where there is no break, there is no division. It all flows together as one massive, seamless exchange, whether that be the thoughts or the conditioned behavioral patterns of the brain. As thoughts lead to action, action leads to routine, to the foods you eat, which exchange themselves as fats or nutrients, the positive or negative words you say or spell, which cast energy. The chain shall never break, cosmic testament, for such light unfolds like metaphorical truths from within the fray. I honor thee. If you know, you know. For I do. As you too know, there's more here to be found, oh so much more. For your soul will no longer allow such rest of the past, for it is time for such divine quest. As if a realm crafted by the gods which awaits the few, the oh so very few. Is that you? Truly is it? For I get the mirror, and quite frankly, I'm tired of it, all of it. For I've shattered it, and began using its pieces to craft one's, our, and humanity's grand mosaic. For I am the consciousness, as such previous lessons have been truly absorbed, therefore fully learned, integrated and understood. And I must say, a grand lesson at that. But I shall not believe human understanding of such unfathomable energy. For we as a collective have a very limited grasp into the true essence of the celestial spirit. Imagine a benevolent oversoul so vastly energetic, radiating as blinding crisp white universal light and pure cosmic wisdom and truth, full of so much earthly potential it physically cracks the very foundations of one's human vessel, of one's own bones. More still, such soul has long ago already fractalized into form within this lower, more dense energetic plane of experience. Meaning such essence is that of much magnificence, so much so that the fifth dimensional crystalline grid of Mother Gaia, seated in Earth's ancient past for these times, oh such grand times, for even it, here, now, in all of their divine calculations, we humanity have outpaced even their best projections. Such galactic predictions were even drawn psychically, straight from the field, by a species far more capable of sight than humanity. And even so, as the universal fabric of consciousness itself, whom it could not even fathom. Granted, they are pulling from this physical dimensional field, however, we pull from something much, much higher. In fact, it's not a space of dimensionality at all. Rather a holographic template. A blueprint sent directly via the divine. Oh lordy lordy. Yet unfortunately so at this time, now recall, not the third-dimensional electromagnetic grid of Mother Earth, rather a fifth-dimensional quantum field of consciousness, seeded eons ago by an ancient Federation seeder race whom craft celestial matter and stardust into homes for higher consciousness lifeforms. Yet in order to do so, prior to sprinkling humanoid life all over the surface of a planetary body, a planet must first be capable and compatible of holding the full conscious embodiment of such beings, regardless of the species numbers nor population, which is all taken into capacity. Calculated via the coveted masters, also known as the world builders, commonly referred to as simply the architects. These magicians of matter, whom ironically only deal in and with the impregnation of energy and planets, which in turn morphs, manipulates and evolves the very essence and structure of physical matter itself, calculating a celestial mass and its maximum accumulative percentages of energetic potential, radiance, magnetism and density. However, this energy is not as we understand as electricity, nor anything similar. In fact, such energy more resembles consciousness than anything resulting from such zap of electricity. However, it is closer to how we understand energy, similar to the experience of the human body. In fact, our ethereal template is one absolutely identical, yet still all dependent upon the existing planetary field, if it exists at all. Among many other variables, such as the size, mass, core, and a far more in-depth understanding of quantum magic, which therefore takes into consideration its distance from its orbiting star, galactic center, and available cosmic radiation, etc. Undergoing an etheric blueprint surgery of sorts, utilizing such precision scalpels crafted from the 7th to 9th dimensional realms forged directly from the light of stars. These scalpels are the exact tools used to peel back a planetary skin, so to speak, not necessarily removing the old grid, or at least never entirely, for the planet must hold an essence of its own life force. Like a void, a catalyst from which a planet may begin its transition, kind of like terraforming, yet on an energetic scale of consciousness rather than biomatter. Yet Earth, the ancient Mother Gaia, was and has been impregnated eons ago. And now? Well, that same grid, you know, the one many across the galactic center denied humanity's abilities to even merely attune to. Yeah, that one. Well, lately, we've been pushing the ancient mother to her ends meet. We too, the celestial grid workers, are currently undergoing a temporary emergency operation of the grid system, and therefore of the celestial mother's chakras themselves. Of course, this is merely a byproduct of grid or field work. For is it truly just magma, simple molten rock at the core of the Mother Earth? Maybe in its physical definition, sure. Or perhaps it more so resembles the core of any other star within the vast night sky. Yet no single thing may be defined as, nor in its singularity, for such state does not exist, as a mere piece of truth, still remains not that of the whole truth. As we must understand this, Mother Earth's heart center provides us with a gifted display of one simple thing: the differentiation of energetic and etheric holographic templates, all dependent on one's manifested physical form of conscious inhabitants. Yet the Mother displays the absolute sheer mass of her heart for all of humanity to see. For our energetic centers, unlike the Earth's, are more evenly dispersed and distributed, providing the human template with a jack-of-all-trades kind of reality. Meaning, for example, we are mobile beings free to roam outside of the mundane, repetitive cycles of the planetary bodies, also known as an orbit. Yet planets, as the host, the father, yet more so common, the mothers of its codependent physical beings. Therefore, as a caretaker, as a nurturer, this seemingly unbalanced center is more so just right. However, I do say temporary. For this, it's not an easy operation by any means, nor a sustainable one, my love. We, the light pillars, are being asked a lot of at the moment. Yet in all of such tormented pulling and stretching of one's light vessel, from such torture I learned more than I could process nor ever wanted to know. About what you ask? Well, love. About the universal limitations, divine equations, sacred calculations, and the cosmic rule of law, which not only dictate a soul's independent incarnation cycle, but the spirit's too, granting one access into this plane, not that prior soul's desired entrance to this realm. Hell no, for Earth was a dark place. Today, however, it's quite the opposite. For now, in such times, even the highest of souls await to be granted access here, as there remains no more natural or earthly generated energetic reservoirs to pull from, nor volume left to fill. No, this will not last indefinitely. Yet for Gaia, she may have me if she must, for I personally will move mountains whether I know the being physically or not. If the energy calls and resonates, one answers, no matter the cost, no questions asked, breaking one's own back for another's benevolent gain, expecting to receive nothing in return, as this is the mission, the elevation of consciousness throughout the universal holographic time matrix. For if I see, therefore I too help, thee and me. You bend over backwards for them and the planet. And well, you can't get a simple hello. I want to make it clear, I honor you and respect your journey. However, love, I don't simply look nor walk through it. For honey, oh honey, I am the celestial veil incarnate, the solar winds, the ancient breath of the benevolent Mother Earth herself. So young, they say, you know little to nothing of this life, nor existence. Haha, okay, oh loving humans. Why, as humans, whom incarnate with full cosmic memory reversal, believe it is so scary or venerable to simply speak to another, from wherever they may be across the oceans of the earth? For you speak it yourself, and we have both felt it for a lifetime too long now. The love of home, its peoples, yes. Yet do you remember the resonance of the planet? Fear could not exist. Do you remember, our vessel's physical psyche in these lands was so highly attuned? These people, we, us, we had no mental, physical, nor emotional aspect of those things. It's not that the planet blocked them out. It's that to these lower dimensional fractals of our current human conscious psyche, they too had no contemplation of such celestial mass of intelligence could even exist. Here lies the love of home, or at least its remembrance. Feel it. For it I shall always remain as such remembrance, for I know somewhere deep within you remember. Yet however, I must keep such joyful bliss hush, for I do not wish for you to get anxious, fearful, agitated, nor tempered, for I told you the very last, the time before that, the one before that, and the time before time itself. For we will and shall forever and always find each other, whether it be our own free will or the will of the divine. All is revealed in due time, that I will never break the chain. But relax, as friends, soul, and genetic family, and maybe, just maybe, the same soul essence, flowing from such a grandiose kinetic pool of existence. A call to arms, for I've always understood the collective of humanity seeks the evidence of science, as they perhaps cannot sense truth as we may, for we know real pure truth, understanding such instantaneously from its singular totality, from the very moment it enters our field. For they have yet to fully trust their intuitive and emotional bodies if activated at all. Therefore, they rely on outside sources to define truth for them. Well, my friends, we here are that outside source. Can you feel the pulsation of such divine responsibility, manifesting into cosmic creation for the entirety of earthly nations? I've always created from the young age of a child. With an imagination so powerful, I quite literally would project another realm into reality, in which I played with joy in life's playground. Exploring the lands, starting a cozy fire by the San Jacinto River, or to hunt. For in such youth I was wearing what's known in the medical field as a halo, a result from a neck injury via a traumatic car crash. The device composed of metal bars resting on my toddler-sized shoulders, with screws implanted into one's skull to keep the head, neck, and spinal cord aligned, for here lies something I've held vaulted, generated, and residing within my DNA. all envisioned within my mind's eye like the cosmic Nikola Tesla, designing, customizing, enhancing, and unifying all cosmic blueprints within one's imaginative and creative mind. As we must understand, imagination and creativity mustn't be seen merely as daydreaming, rather a source, the divine speaking through us. And yet it's not only the physical manifestation which results from this undertaking. More so, rather, it's within the process of such creation, the energetic flow which rushes through the cosmic body. For within the task of imagination, creation may flow into manifestation. In this form of being, commonly referred to as flow state, may also be thought of as the presence of the Holy Spirit. For we have defined these words as hobbies or emotions, therefore, casting shadows on such luminous divine light of truth. For what truly happens in this process of creation exists a portal to the Creator, Him herself. For a new era, earthly blueprint must encompass all realities which currently exist within the realm, meaning we cannot just shift a reality into a new. Yes, of course we can, for the science has been scribed and witnessed by the ancients themselves, described as a power sent from the stars, which evidently lie dormant as the truths of their ancient sacred sciences. Yet that power may take eons. Ironically still, mankind will come to discover the generator of such universal potential is not first conducted in the physical, in merely pure science as the carnal mind may view it, rather through the spirit or via spirituality. As this divine entanglement is only merely described or defined in the name of science, as it's not the science which gives rise to these higher energetic portions of thyself, it's the spirit. Yet no matter how much we desire to expose this truth, frustratingly, that's what the current collective requires in this current evolutionary time grid point. If we desire rapid change, then we must accept our reality for what it is, repairing the things we can right here and now within the eternal now. In order for this to happen, we must reflect on the many individual puzzle pieces already in existence within our 3D earthly reality. Once one has a good understanding of the civilization inhabited, differing between celestial bodies on which one resides, from here we may rebuild again, anew. That's our task, our job, our mission. Now is the time to rally the troops, the boots on the ground. Not just any troops, however, a cosmic Tier 1 task force only whispered about in folklore throughout the galaxy, disciplined and magnetized to such soul mission. What is it we are to build, you may ask? True cosmic academia. That's the answer. For knowledge is true power, they say. Rather, I believe knowledge encoded within and as one's own unique DNA database. One's passions, hobbies, and joys undertaken in free will, provided free of charge these things which excite us. This is not an odd quirk of the individual, but a soul calling in which you, as the puzzle piece, must fit into the larger mold of the collective. Therefore, true universal education is what humanity desires. An institution which allows its future scholars to explore not only the channel of cosmic consciousness and the language of mathematics, but also the deep hidden depths and true desires of the soul. This Ivy League academic establishment is known as the One Institute. The Origin New Era Institute intends on encompassing all facets of reality and matter, from the common human physical 3D scientific fields of study, such as law and diplomacy, health and medicine, mathematics and geometry, energy and telecommunications, resources and materials, aerospace and exploration, logistics and transportation, agriculture and environmental, technology and apparatus, engineering and manufacturing, in coexistence with the sacred teachings and practices of universal law, encompassing subjects such as the sacred sciences, as diverse as philosophy, alchemy, psychology, botany, astrology, biology, archaeology, herbology, mineralogy, linguistics, cosmology, numerology, astronomy, cartography, sacred geometry and meteorology. Engineering the world's most advanced quantum supercomputer and world-first zero-point quantum field generator. Wirelessly generating, transmitting and distributing electricity. Housing world-class medical facilities and hospitals on the cutting edge of human biology and metaphysics. Combining modern medical practice with the spiritual ancient healing arts. Creating new ways of vertical farming and aquaponic agriculture, blending the evolution of nature with the science of mankind, with 24/7 environmental AI controls dissolving the need for GMOs and pesticides, mining the lunar surface and local celestial asteroids for raw, precious, and valuable elemental resources and materials. Rather than devastating the Mother Earth, we reach to the abundance of the stars, creating new building materials at pennies on the dollar, generating new ways of faster, more efficient global logistics, resource and goods transportation system, utilizing unmanned autonomous sea, air, land and space machinery and assets. A dream lab for science, like a combination of DARPA, JPL, Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, and the United States National Laboratories. With large funding, this highly intelligent division of the institution creates technologies which benevolently impact human civilization on a grand scale, leaving a ripple for generations to come. A shelter for the orphaned and the homeless, rebuilding lost souls, adding to the rise of the collective, from the worst of humanity to the best, as extra time and care is spent on these individuals. For when the broken return to the light, they are more powerful than most. An expressive stage for monthly festivals similar to Coachella or Ultra, displaying art, music and literature, allowing the citizens of Earth an outlet for soul expression. These aspects are in focus now, For the puzzle pieces of this grand new world already exists. It simply takes those willing to sit at the table, those willing to deal in the organization of chaos. We must simply display to humanity the larger picture, in which each fit with precision, uniting them in unity for the benefit of all mankind. Calibrating. Disconnected. Gap 1S, Mike signing off.
Is that the resonating with these dash? Nośniki na bal, kisni da poszli, wrażda ataś, rosztajba, daba, usznika, wrażdyka